stones so massive that any of the heaviest cranes in the modern world would be unable to budge them. Stones heavier than any aircraft, and piled and aligned with such accuracy in a 4,000-year-old site. Today we dive into Baalbek, Lebanon, the silent witnesses of a lost world's history. Ancient Baalbek is a city now situated in the modern state of Lebanon. The Greeks knew this city as Heliopolis, or the city of the sun. The site has been continuously occupied for around 9,000 years, which makes it one of the oldest inhabited sites in the world. What makes the excavations at Baalbek unique, however, are the three huge stones forming the foundation to the temple of Jupiter called the trilithon. The trilithon is three stones, each weighing more than 800 tons, stacked on top of each other. Another place on the grounds has an even much bigger stone, the stone of the pregnant woman, which weighs over 1,000 tons and is still only partially quarried. To give you an idea, the weight of just one of these stones is equivalent to about 300 cars. Now, how did the old builders move these stones so accurately cut without the help of modern technology? Now let us try to put the scale of the problem in perspective. Moving a 1,000-ton stone without the aid of modern technology requires ingenuity beyond what we normally imagine of ancient civilizations. In fact, historians and engineers have come forward with several theories for this wonder, assuming tens of thousands of workers could slide these stones into position with a series of levers, pulleys, and wooden sleds. How effective would this prove to be? Using some estimates from archaeologists, it would take hundreds of people working in coordination, using pulleys and wooden rollers, merely to nudge that 1,000-ton stone by an inch, but even that might prove too small to account for the precision we see today. For comparison, in ancient Egypt, similar techniques were used to move 2-5-ton stones for the pyramids. But here we are talking about a scale hundreds of times larger. Another theory is that perhaps the unknown technology perhaps lost to the history books was used. Some researchers argue that ancient civilizations have had more advanced techniques, perhaps something to do with sound, waves or vibrations, to lift up heavy objects. Interestingly, scientists have tested the use of sound waves to lift small objects in a sealed space, but there is no evidence that this was done here at Baalbek. On the other hand, this theory is one of the most popular among the alternative historians and also makes the story full of mystery. A more speculative theory assumes influence by an advanced civilization. Some authors even have the idea of extraterrestrial beings that helped with construction. Sounds more like science fiction, but reflects the difficulty historians face when explaining the technology gap. Interestingly, some authors, such as Erich von Däniken, who wrote Chariots of the Gods, pointed Baalbek out as potential evidence for extraterrestrial activity, though that theory has widely been debunked in academia. So, why was this stone moved and stacked in the first place? Some historians have proposed that maybe Baalbek was a significant religious site. Evidence also shows that Baalbek had been used as a temple complex even by the Roman Empire and before, of the biggest size, in fact, is this temple of Jupiter at Baalbek, forming one of the biggest religious structures in the Roman world. For some historians, the immense stones at the bottom could be manifestations of the grandeur intended for the gods being worshipped there. Unlike the Egyptian pyramids, the splendor and magnitude of the building might evoke those emotions toward the cult faithful and a visitor. Still, in an even more bizarre principle, it is proposed that the enormous stone platform of Baalbek has to be the airfield that welcomed landing of extraterrestrial craft according to the rules of ancient astronauts. Of course, there is no proof, but like the others, the concept still remains fresh and inspiring, as UFO theorists often cite the immense size of the stones and their alignment as proof of possible extraterrestrial significance. Modern engineering sheds some light on some methods which might explain how Baalbek was built. Scientists have discovered, for example, that if widely spaced pulleys and counterweights are used, massive stones can be moved much more easily. Recent years have involved replications of ancient building techniques in experiments. For example, at Stonehenge, the researchers actually used stone balls as rollers to roll heavy stones across relatively flat surfaces. Baalbek, however, was constructed on uneven ground. That's one obstacle after another. The same types of blocks are used at stone walls at Sacsayhuaman in Peru. However, whereas in Baalbek large blocks are so evident, in this one, they are not large and show signs of more primitive shaping. So why, one may ask, does Baalbek haunt and mystify us so intensely? The stones, carved and laid down with such an incredible display of human skill, remind us that even the humblest of human histories holds within it the possibility of mystery. It challenges our vision as to what ancient civilizations were able to achieve in both technology and in creativity. The stones of Baalbek remind one of human determination and ambition, along with a few secrets lost in the sands of time. Whether it be via manpower, ancient engineering, or something more mysterious still, the site calls us to continue our curiosity and humility about our understanding of history. Who knows what other mysteries lie buried, waiting for us to find answers? Do you have an impression about Baalbek? Share your thoughts about the place in the comment section.